Hey everybody, this is Griffin McElroy for Polygon.com with a quick guide on how to take down Martyr Logarius, who is a boss you will face in the optional Forsaken Canehurst Castle area. I had a really hard time with Martyr Logarius. I actually had to give up after my first few attempts and go level up. I was level 70 during this attempt, so if you're having a hard time with him, you may want to run off and do the same. This is going to be a do as I say, not as I do video because I found out after I had a really hard time beating him that there is actually an easier option for taking him down. Quick rundown on what Martyr Logarius brings to the fight. He is capable of casting several different magic spells. You already saw the spread shot blood skull attack. That one's pretty easy to dodge. Just roll or sidestep whenever it's getting close to you. Those do track you, but if you dodge as soon as they're about to touch you, it's pretty easy to get out of the way of. The other is that attack, his big floating blood skull. Often he will summon that right next to you when you're up in melee range against him. If he summons that, you want to sidestep diagonally to the left or right of him and try and get behind him. His melee attacks are nothing to sneeze at. The trick to those is that he has several that are very, very slow and several that are very, very fast. So learning when to dodge them can be very, very tricky. One thing I did not do in this fight, and I've only heard after I finished it, is that he can actually be riposted with the gun pretty easily during those attacks. It's something I wish I had known during this fight because it probably would have let me take him down in much fewer attempts. But yeah, I would recommend waiting until he's about to execute one of his slower attack combos, usually when he rears back his scythe like that. He gives you a huge window of opportunity that you could use to blast him. I haven't been leveling up my guns or my blood tinge really, so I don't know how effective I would have been, but if you are capable of doing it, it's going to make this fight a whole lot easier. There you saw a big AoE attack he does when he stabs his staff in the ground. You want to get out of the way of that. I thought I was far enough away and wasn't, and took about half my health bar in damage. In the second phase of the fight, things get a little bit trickier. He moves a lot faster. He has that stabbing attack that can actually get you from behind those parapets, so you're not always safe when you have one of those between him and you. The really tricky part of this second phase of the fight is his jumping attacks. He has one where he leaps into the air and then flies forward at you, slashing. That one's a little bit easier to dodge. You can just roll out of the way of it. It takes it's a lot slower of an attack, so it's easier to get out of the way of. There, I actually stunned him and didn't manage to get a visceral attack off. The harder of the lunges that he does, the harder one to avoid is this hammer attack where he flies up in the air. It's really hard to see him when he does this attack, and it's hard to know when to dodge. I took that hit more often than not in this fight. But yeah, he will bring that hammer down on you, and it hurts a lot, and it'll also knock you down and keep you from moving for a little bit. So that attack is really tricky to avoid. I would recommend just getting away from him after it's done and healing up. If you can get a parapet between you and him, you may have better luck avoiding it, but maybe not. One thing to keep in mind also is in this phase, his last hit of his combos will emit an extra magic slash that will add a little bit more range. There was one right there. That will add a little bit more range to his combos, so if you've gotten comfortable with where you need to be during his melee attacks during the first phase, just keep in mind that that's going to change during the second phase of the fight. Again, in the second phase of the fight, he relies a lot more on melee attacks when he's not doing these super annoying lunges, so go ahead and use your gun to interrupt him and get off a visceral attack or two and drain his health pretty significantly, which, again, I did not do during this fight, and I'm pretty mad at myself about. Yeah, he has one more trick that he does, and I will show it to you as soon as he pops it off. It's not that big a deal if you can move pretty quickly. If you don't move quickly enough, it can be a big pain in the ass. But yeah, the real trick to this fight is memorizing his attack animations, figuring out when he's about to use a slow combo, when he's about to use a fast one. Here's the final trick up his sleeve. It's an AoE where he stabs his sword into the ground. You want to run up and hit that sword as quick as possible. It's only going to take one good hit to take it down. If you don't take it down fast enough, a cloud of magic swords start flying at you, and it's really annoying. They don't do a ton of damage, but they'll keep going as long as the sword is there, and they will interrupt you when you're trying to hit Martyr Logarius otherwise. So first priority, as soon as he stabs that sword in the ground, and once you've avoided the AoE that it creates, is to rush up to it and hit it and get rid of that sword, because it can be pretty bad news. So yeah, that's basically it for Martyr Logarius. Again, if you're having a lot of trouble with the fight, I would recommend leveling up. I was level 70, but your mileage may vary. You probably don't need to be that high if you can master the riposte, which I just didn't do in this video. It's kind of a tricky fight with a long run back to the boss from the lamp. So it can be kind of annoying, but just hang in there, work on memorizing his animations, and you will do just fine. Thanks for watching. We will have more boss guide videos for you throughout the week, and good luck.